Welcome to Bohemia Buds. Where can you legally grow cannabis for personal use? I'm going to answer that question in today's video. My name is Chris, and this channel is all about teaching you how to legally and safely grow your own cannabis for personal consumption. This video is an overview, high-level overview of where you're legally allowed to grow your own cannabis. This is not legal advice. This video is just for educational purposes only. Please check your local laws and regulations to make sure that you are safe and legal and act responsibly. There are three zones that I'm going to divide the world into, category 1 is where it's completely legal to grow your own weed. Category 2 is grey area, decriminalized, potentially you could get away with it, but it's not 100% legal. And then the rest of the world is illegal. So where can you legally grow cannabis? Well, for a start, the Czech Republic, where I live. I live in central Bohemia, hence the name Bohemia Buds. Here we can legally grow for personal use. We can't sell it publicly in bars and things. It's not fully legalized like it is with alcohol. But for personal growing at home, it's permitted to have up to 3 plants. So yay for the Czech Republic. Also, Canada is fully legal to grow your own at home. And the USA, there are currently 8 states where you're allowed to grow. Also Uruguay and some other smaller places, Luxembourg, Malta, and also Germany. These places are still going to have limits on what you're allowed to grow. Some say you can have 3, some say you can have 6 plants. It's all different. I'm not going to give you specific advice in this video about your country because I don't know where you live. And to go through every country's laws would be silly. So check your rules and regulations in the country that you live in for the limits that you're allowed to stay within, and you'll be fine, and you can grow happily and safely and responsibly. The second category of countries is where it's decriminalized. We have a gray area here. You might not be prosecuted in a criminal sense if you have a few plants, 1 or 2 plants at home for your personal use, but it's not fully legal. So depending on where you live and the rules and the mood of the police on the day, you may have your plants confiscated. There may be some kind of a fine, but generally for 1 or 2 plants in a decriminalized place, it would just be the same as getting a speeding ticket or something like that. It wouldn't be a criminal offense that's on your record and you go to prison. If you go over certain limits, then criminal proceedings would be automatically sought after. So you want to keep within the limits of wherever you are within the decriminalization, but I don't recommend doing that, putting yourself at any risk. So if you're in a gray area country, please look up your particular laws. For example, I've just read that in the Netherlands, if you have 1 or 2 plants for personal use, the police aren't going to care too much. If you're selling it, maybe they're going to start having a problem, but they're not going to arrest people for just 1 or 2 plants. But there's multiple places where this is the case, so look up your specific laws. And for the rest of the world, it's completely illegal to grow at home, and you face criminal charges even on small amounts, and can potentially even be, seriously life-changing, criminal sentences of life in prison, and God knows other things that we don't want to talk about on this channel. But if you live in the countries in category 1, this channel's for you. If you're a beginner and you have never grown cannabis before in your life and you don't even know where to start, this is where you're going to start. I'm going to go through step by step everything I do to grow from seed to harvest, and I will show you everything. So subscribe and you won't miss out any of the details. I'm going to do live broadcasts. I'm going to do information about cannabis chemistry. I'm going to do stuff about culture, and as well as the growing diary that I will go through the entire year. Each batch will be a new experiment in trying something a little bit different. So follow along and join us on this journey of growing some really cool plants. Please make sure that you check your local regulations. Go to official government websites, go to ministry websites, anywhere where they state the laws officially, and then perhaps also talk to a lawyer or some other legal representative in your area that can give you more details if you've got some specific requirements that you need to meet. Look for official news outlets especially national news rather than social media channels. Stick with official government guidelines and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't go to random blog posts or Facebook pages or whatever and get your legal information from there. Do not get your legal information from me. I'm just here to share information for education purposes. So if you want to know officially, then you need to go and do your own research. This is not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you where it's officially allowed to do and whatever. This is up to you to make the responsible decision to grow safely where you live. So now you know where you are legally allowed to grow, but how do you even start? So in the next video, I'm going to show you a basic tent setup. Now it's winter here in the Czech Republic. It's minus 16 outside. So growing here is very difficult to keep the temperature and humidity maintained properly. So the only way really to do that is to have a grow tent that's specifically designed for the purpose. And I've put the grow tent in my bedroom because my bedroom is already heated to keep me alive. So I'm going to hopefully be able to use that heat to keep the plants alive without spending an absolute fortune on electricity. So if you want to see how to grow cannabis in the Czech Republic during winter, then drop me a subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you in the next video where we'll build a little tent and start the magic process. See you in the next video. Bye.